Hey everybody, it is Garrett, otherwise known as Gitronist on the channel, and I wanted to talk about and do an album review of Wintersun's record Time 1. Now, I've been debating about reviewing it either as Time 1 2.0 or Time 1 1.0 or 1.5.0, whatever it's called. I think I will just focus on kind of the comparisons and discrepancies between them in the hopes that you can see that to me, Time 1, with its 2.0 completely new mix and master, is so much better than when it was initially released, especially in terms of production. And I will just start off by mentioning that the drums, when I first heard Time 1, I still knew it was epic. And whether it's starting with like When Time Fades Away or we go into Sons of Winter and Stars, just the 13-minute and 22-second long soaring memoir of living in Finland and being an epic warrior of the stars and whatnot. We are the sons of winter and stars. Yes. I found the album to be really exciting and really interesting. And this was for me about 2015. That's when I got into Wintersun. This was about I was getting into my power metal phase that has now stayed for ever since. I was actually into power metal before and epic metal before, but it really took off about 2015. So obviously listening to this record was huge for me because the guitar work on the album is fantastic. There are less guitar solos than there were on the debut album, but otherwise, I would say that Time 1, every song is in some way memorable, especially if you're a big fan of epic metal. And Yari definitely uses a unique, interesting blend of the really raucous, growly, not growly voice, but like snarl voice alongside the melodic, but still sort of like, gosh, I'm looking for the right word for this. Um, raunchy voice, whatever. Yeah. But regardless, Time 1, every single song on here, especially like, because if you like one song on the record, you're probably going to like all the rest. The opening, When Time Fades Away, is very much inspired by traditional or Oriental Japanese music. It uses a lot of Oriental Japanese instruments. Then it goes into the epic metal portion of things with Sons of Winter and Stars. Then it goes into Land of Snow and Sorrow. And then it goes into, and I'm forgetting what it's called, Darkness and Frost. That one's like in like this like interesting like electronic guitar thing, orchestral thing. And then it obviously caps off with Time. Now, like I said, when I first heard the record, I was blown away. And when they did their crowdfunding last year for Time 2, I was really happy with how they did a completely new mix and master of the album. I know that there can be issues with like louder drums and just a louder, punchier feel drowning out a lot of the rest of the mix, but I do feel like the drums in the initial release of Time 1 are weak and very underwhelming, and I felt that even when I was listening to it because the drums just didn't have that punch. Now with Time 1 2.0, they have that punch, and they are able to bring that heavier atmosphere out in a way that is, I don't know, I just Time 1 2.0 just sounds, it's a much better mix to me. I don't do a lot of production and mixing and mastering myself, but I know enough about it to know what I like and don't like in a production. And so when I purchased the crowdfunding, I was super happy to find that the mix for Time 1 was so much more improved. And obviously, Time 2, which is the next big one, was just as good, if not better, especially now that they have more guitar solos. I'm a big fan of guitar solos. Epic Yari. But yeah, that'll be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cap this off by just saying that if you are looking into getting into like the epic metal genre, I'm not even sure if that's a genre. I'm just gonna call it epic metal. Then you could definitely start with an album like Wintersun's Time One, and it'll sound really good and high quality. Obviously, the digital version, Time One 2.0, is gonna be your best bet. But even just the CD itself, it's still nice. You just have to remember that the production quality is not going to be as strong or as heavy or as, like I said, punchy. So, yeah, that'll do it for this record. I hope you all enjoy your days. And hey, Ari, guys here.